Hello, everyone. Welcome to my presentation about establishing good study habit. I'm going to share my screen right now. Okay, let me give you a little bit of information about myself. My name is Joyce Chan, and I am a professor of child and family development. I was born in Taiwan. My family moved to the States when I was in college. Proud US citizen, and I have worked with children with various different age in the state of Oregon and in Missouri. And I was also an interim principal for a very short time. And I really enjoy learning, and yes, I'm still enjoy learning, and I also love my job. I love being a teacher. My regular job, I have students are college age and graduate students. Okay, all right. As you can tell, the English is not my first language, so that if there are mispronunciations, please forgive me. All right, I'm glad you're here because we all know that supporting our children and students are very important. We know that family and the school are both very important, and the community that we're all very important to support student learning. And then before we start, that I just want to friendly remind everyone that every child is different and every family is unique. So what I'm sharing here that are a combination of research and observation and also my conversation discussion with colleagues and students. And I also want to remind everyone that whatever works for one person may not work for the other person because we are all different. And I hope that you will learn some useful tips from this presentation. Okay, about study skills, there are so many study skills. I talked to about 14 different colleagues, and they are all parents as well, and they are also in the field of education. And I also ask my students, under and graduate students, about some of the important study skills they think is important that they want other people to know. So here are so many study skills. And then I know it's not possible to talk about everything. However, that based on my very informal conversation with colleagues and students and family, that I'm going to select a few topics that everyone thinks that's really important. For example, to foster love of learning is really important, that we all know that. And you know what? That we need to model the love of learning because we all know action speaks louder, right? Than words. So if we want to encourage children to read, pick up a book, just enjoy reading, share about what you have read. Oh, I think that this is really beautiful. I love that how this author described this in this situation. I can share the love of learning. And also that because I was an intern principal for a little while, and I want to remind everyone that family school partnership is very, very important. Okay, it is possible that maybe your child's learning style is not the best match with a teacher's teaching style. It is possible. However, I do think that most teachers really love helping children. So if you approach teacher with you asking for help, and then you want to partner teacher to support your child together, I think that all the teachers will be jumping up and down and say, yes, I'm 100% with you. Okay. However, if you approach teacher as, you know what, you don't know how to teach because little Johnny still cannot do such and such, that may not be the best way to approach. So again, that partnership is very important. Ownership is also important. We know that when we didn't get what we want, okay, or even sometimes we work very hard, but we didn't get what we want. No, instead of facing and acknowledging that, maybe even I worked very hard, but maybe my strategy was not the best, or maybe my direction was not ideal, that sometimes it's easy to just pick a person to get as a scapegoat, or it's easier to blame other than ourselves, right? So if we really want to help our children, our students to learn, we need to be very honest and really face that what is the issue here. Okay, what's the issue here? And another friendly reminder is that I want to stress the importance of effort. Effort is very, very important. And then the research say that, you know, we want children to continue to learn and grow, that we want the children to know that, you know, well, is effort is the most important. That, you know, you try really hard. Okay, I'm really glad that you tried really hard. Okay, and then we were going to adjust our strategy, and I'm going to get the help you want. Okay, and we are going to do better next time. All right, so that's about partnership, but also ownership. Study cycle is something else I would like to share with everyone. This is something I found that some of my college students that really did not understand the importance of the study cycle. So the study cycle goes something like this. First, you need to preview. Yes, I say preview. This is before your teacher lecture on a certain topic. Get the textbook out, skim through the chapter. You know what are some of the issues that your teacher is going to talk about. And then when you attend the lecture, you're going to be actively attending, right? Not just like daydreaming, but actively attending. Taking notes can help you to be engaging, okay? And then you want to, within 24 hours, you want to review what you have learned. You want to read and you want to kind of incorporate what the teacher have taught you, right? You want to kind of take a note, you want to organize, you want to like review. That's a review. And then you want to study. Review is not study. Review is kind of get everything together. You want to study. And then you have to do self-assessment, right? To see that, make sure that you got it. So what can parents do? We can facilitate the preview, facilitate the preview by asking the children, what are they going to talk about? Okay, if they do not know that there are a lot of resources, most school districts have the learning objective that planned for every grade already. So teachers would know that maybe have a syllabus or like the online website that, so find out what will be covered tomorrow or the next week. And many schools also have code for online textbook. So if your school cannot let you check out an actual textbook, then you might want to check out an online textbook as well. All right, so the 5 cycles are very important. You want to preview, okay? All right, you want to attend the class, and you want to review within 24 hours, and then you want to study, intense study, and then you want to assess like how much do you know. So instead of saying, hey, how was school? Maybe ask, oh, what did you learn in history today? What did you learn about American Revolution? And then you can ask more questions. Okay, so I thought you studied about this. So what did you learn? Okay, maybe that's an area that you want to talk a little bit, you want to study a little bit more. All right, you know, you can remember that, you know, what are some of the tension that has been building up that, you know, that lead up to the American Revolution. So let's take a look together. So I am sharing the study cycle that because this is very important, and I hope that this will spark your interest, and also that provide some of the possible ways that you can connect with your children about the joy of learning. All right, so we talk about that, you know, the textbook and the syllabus can be found. Another thing I want to share is about planning and time management. We all know that this is very important for a lot of young children. The planning have to be very visual, have to be an actual calendar, sticky note. Time is a very abstract concept for many people, especially young children. So you might want to have that consideration in mind. When we are planning for the study, that be sure that you might want to take a holistic planning approach, which means that, you know, well, we want to make sure that children are sleeping well, having right nutrition value, they are mentally alert, they're happy, and then also the built-in, right, you know, built-in fun as well. So it's not just study, but also that some of the other activities that you want children to be involved, like exercise, you know, like going out for a walk, walk the dog, okay, and such. Attention is very important. We all know that being focused and ability to focus is very important. You might want to consider some kind of desk time or study time. Have a designated area and time that for your children to be there. The goal is to be completing a project by themselves. Okay, so it's kind of the quiet, prepare them to be able to sit there for example, five-year-old, I will probably start with five minutes. Sit there, sit somewhere, 5 minutes at a designated place, read, or coloring or something. You know, so it's really like kind of schedule a desk time. And then here's some suggestion about like how long. Again, like 4-year-old, I will start with 4 minutes. 6-year-old, I will start with 6 minutes, okay, kind of gradually, okay, to make sure that, again, every child is different. So something for you to think about, you might want to incorporate some kind of desk time. Note taking is very important. That, you know, even some of my college students, a lot of time they forgot that taking note is important, because I asked them, okay, well, I say this is really important. So only 1/3 of the students are like taking notes, because this is my hint of it's going to be on exam, right? I want to talk about this a lot. So only about 1/3 are taking notes. And then I will say, well, you might want to write it down. And they're like, oh, okay, well, they remember. So I think that taking notes is a very, very good habit to have, taking note, because we are very good at forgetful. We're all very good about forgetting. All right. And also that taking notes will help you to stay focused as well, because you need to pay attention, right? And you have to, it will help you. There are many different type of memorization techniques, and repetition is very important. And then when you are learning that you're trying to memorize something, you might want to involve all the senses. You want to talk about it, you want to hear about that, you want to write about it. Okay, so it's not just with not just like a passive reading, right? I always mean, okay, on the screen or with books. So you want to involve, right? When you are memorizing, saying that you want to involve all your senses. Okay, you want to talk about it, you want to repeat, right? You want to repeat. Okay, all right. What are the 5 U.S. territories that you want to repeat? Like, you know, Puerto Rico, Virgin Island. Okay, you want to repeat. You want to write it down. You want to repeat. You want to involve all your senses. All right. Here is an example actually that. My younger daughter has such a hard time remembering the 5 U.S. territories. She always remember like as 4, but she's always will be missing one. So one time that at our dinner table, then I was just talking about, okay, you know what, this is hard to remember like all 5. So what are some of the ways that we can help her to remember the five different territories? So there are many different ways generated, and then this is something that my younger daughter say that this actually helped her, and then from now on she always remember the 5 territories, because my older daughter say, poor Vicky married a stupid guy, and then this is something that made my younger daughter laugh, and also that from now on she always remember this 5 U.S. territory, right? That she will remember all those 5 territories. So here are some examples of those are the technique that you can help your children to learn for memorization, but it's also kind of fun to support as a family, and to discuss, to talk about that, here's the difficulty I'm having, and what can we do? And then also that the really being involved and interested in your child's learning. We all know that reading, okay, all right. Next slide. We all know reading is very, very important. We want to make sure that our students are also enjoy reading. Okay, and I know a lot of teachers are encouraging in daily reading. They're like stickers, incentive, different things. I think those are wonderful. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. And here's a friendly reminder that when you are reading, you might want to think about, you might want to increase the challenging level. Okay, so you want the reading to be progressing. Are you with me? So again, you want to partner with your teacher. Your teacher will have a lot of resources about what genre, what age. Okay, well, little Johnny read only fiction, but little Johnny is actually 5th grade. That maybe little Johnny wants to expand the genre to historical fiction or autobiography. Okay, so that be a partner with your teacher, and then there are also a lot of different resources about appropriate reading for different age group and then interests. All right, so if we are thinking about reading is very important because this is a fundamental competency, right? It's kind of the, all the things kind of reading is really important. We need to be able to read, then we can comprehend and we can keep learning. And another area I want to talk about is actually mathematics. That we all know that mathematics is this is a subject that will open a lot of doors for your children in the future, right? If you want to study chemistry, physics, and a lot of different occupations, even now that I am a professor of family science, statistics continue to be important because I need a skill, the tool to analyze my data, my research. So if we think reading is important and we're encouraging children to read 30 minutes for enjoyment every day. And I think that you should consider having 15 minutes just to do some kind of problem solving, or math or something, some kind of practice every day as well. And there are many, many resources on the website. There are a lot of different resources that you can find, different grade, and then a different type of activity. And some of the activity are really fun. Those are games, actually very interesting. And I noticed some of you might say, well, but Joyce, you're Asian American, that Asian American are good at math. Well, I'm going to tell you that if you think that's true, you haven't met a lot of Asian Americans, and that's all effort. Okay, that's all effort. No one was born hating math, and no one was born loving math, right? Okay, so I want to encourage you to think about that. If you think reading is really important, you're encouraging your children to have 30 minutes every day to read for enjoyment, then I will encourage you to think about something problem solving for 15 minutes, okay? Just to keep as a daily practice. I think that will be really important as well. And another thing is the can-do attitude. The child needs to believe in himself, herself, that knowing that, she can make a difference. She can make a difference. So that we know that there are a lot of literature to support this already. We know that we need to encourage, we need to praise children for their effort. We want to do very encouraging. We want to role model. We want to direct instruction. We want to observational learning. That there are many, many different strategies. One of the very important to build on this I can do attitude, the motivation part as well, is the experience of success. The past experience of success is very important. So how do we do that? All right. So first of all, we need to have realistic goal. Okay. So if Susie is having a hard time reading, okay, if Susie having a hard time reading, expecting Susie to read like Shakespeare overnight, it's not reasonable. Okay. So that find a reasonable goal, right? Set the goal, and then you have to give a lot of help, right? And guidance, appropriate guidance, and then putting the effort, then you will see success. Okay, all right, okay, again. So if little Johnny is having a hard time with math, okay, all right, you need to set realistic goal, right? Whatever realistic goal, okay, and then with appropriate guidance and a lot of effort, and then you can see the fruition of the effort. Okay, so we want children to experience the success. Yeah, so whatever realistic goal, to experience the success, so the children know that I can do it. All right, so that in this presentation, I share tips and examples, and I hope to spark your interest and maybe some idea for whatever that's appropriate for your child and your family. And I do want to remind everyone again that every child is different and every family is unique. And then you are the one that know what to do for your family. And I do hope that, of course, that we can only learn about strategy, right? If we don't use it, and then don't use it to really help our children, then it's kind of nonsense. So I hope that you will put something that you maybe learn 1 or 2 tricks and the strategies, and that you will be able to maybe try to use that to help your children with some of the tips and strategies. Thank you very much for viewing this presentation, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful day. All right, happy studying and happy learning. Bye-bye.